Welcome back to DUBBZI Bricks for another episode of building the Tantive IV in Lego. In the last update, totally destroyed this section here and started again. And I'm glad I did so. The original version of the cockpit was too big. It didn't look right. And it was just going to cause me a whole load of problems as I went further back with the hull of the ship. I couldn't get this side section to join up where it needed to. And yeah, I just wasn't happy with it. It wasn't the best cockpit I could do. So we decided we will start again and rebuild it. And frustrating, yes, it was very much so. Hard work, definitely. But in the end, it's going to be worth it, I'm sure. We want this to be the best it possibly can. When you spend as much time, money and effort into something like this, to just leave something as, oh yeah, that's good enough. It's just not good enough for me. So yeah, we decided we're going to redo it. And that's what we've done. Now in this update, there are so many bits I want to work on, but I think the best thing for me to do is to get the hull of the cockpit here all sorted, get that back. That was the worst bit on the previous attempt at the cockpit. So to get that back to how it should be would be good, as well as those panels on the front just there. I need to check the size of this window here because there's something about it. It's just looking a little bit too big, not by much, but we need to amend that. Then that'll be something we'll start off by amending. So without further ado, let's get the bricks and plates out and let's get started. And here we have the latest on the top section of the build here. Still need to do obviously all of the details, and I need to do the two middle sections just here. They're the final two parts that just slide in afterwards. The reason they come in separately is this would be very hard to connect them, but also I can pick this part out of the build here very easily. So that just comes up like so. So that's the reason we're leaving that as it is, or going for that technique. Now with these panels here, it was really hard getting them level, so they were the same on both sides. So I've ended up building the wall in now, and I put it as far over this way as possible. So this is where we're going to have the next removable section, so you can see inside of the cockpit. I just need to decide whether or not I want to have the entire length of it as removable, or whether or not I just do the front section. And I still can work out how I'm going to be covering up this front bit here. I don't want to use the same technique as I did previously, as there was a couple of bits about it that didn't look quite right. So yeah, we need to work on that. Now these wall sections that we've built here, I now need to build those on the bottom. A couple of little problems we're going to have. One is going to hit the display stand just here, so I'm going to have to build around that. But also we've got the panels that remove in, or the shelves that remove in, which the hull is attached to, and that rests on this part just here and slides into there. And I think that the brick wall is going to be around about here, so it's just going to be off of this. So yeah, that's again something I just need to try and work out how I'm going to go about attaching it all on the bottom. So let's get our thinking cap on, work out how we're going to attach that all to the vessel so it's nice and strong. And then once I've done so, I'll check back in and show you how it's coming. Now, the one advantage with me doing an entire rebuild with this, as well as obviously just getting it looking more accurate, is everything's a lot more compact in here and it's a lot stronger as well. I feel like I've used a lot less bricks, which is obviously a plus side because it's keeping the weight down. However, I've come across something here and I don't know how I've managed to do it, or when I've failed to do it, should I say. And up here, I've got a Technic brick just above where my finger is. It's black, so hence you can't see it that well. Then got one here and we've got one here. Over this side, we've got one above my finger, then we've just got one here. We haven't got the third set just there. So I've no idea when I added that. I'm not sure whether I added it when I did the M panel. Yeah, it's really weird one. So I've now got to get that all put in there. It's not too much of a problem. I just need to work out how I do it. There's a plate that should be underneath this part, which I'm going to struggle to get in there. But again, I should still be able to find a way of connecting it all together. If there was 2 plates gap between these two, then I would know that I've put a lift arm in between, but I clearly haven't done so. So yeah, I just need to get that all added and then I can carry on building the semicircles onto this brick just here. But yeah, it's really weird to come across something like that and think not have any recollection of building it one side and not the other. When I was building this, I was doing it all at the same time. So it's something I've added later on and just haven't realised. But hey ho. Anyway, let's get some Technic pieces out, replicate that onto this side, and then we can finally build the semicircles onto the bottom. And there we have the bottom half of the circles all in place. And I had to extend these sections out here by 2 studs so I could build off of them, which has given me a larger shelf for the sections to slide into. So that should make it a little bit more sturdy. And I'll put a lift arm here as well, just to help take the weight of it. And there's also another one behind this section at the back. And it's so satisfying seeing the bottom of the hull on the cockpit section just here. Still need to make the panel that goes in the very bottom bit just here on both sides, on the top and the bottom. But what I need to do now is have a good look through my red pieces so I can find out the parts I need to build the ring around here. Once I've done that, I can then start manipulating the panels, get them as close to this circle piece as possible. Now, I did place an order with lego.com, and I ordered a whole load of 1x snot bricks for doing the end panel, and then I've changed the design of it so they're going to have no use whatsoever on this cockpit, but I'm sure I'll find another use for them elsewhere in my Lego projects. Now, in regards to this section just here, I feel like it needs to come down by one stud, as does the windscreen. And the windscreen also, I feel, needs to be extended in width. I've shrunk it down by too much. So once I've got all of those parts sorted, I can then start working on the two panels that slide in to this section just here. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is all coming along, and I'm so pleased to have got back to this stage after the destruction last week. It's so nice just to see this back looking like the cockpit section of the Tantive, and I feel 100% it was the right decision ripping it apart. But anyway, that's enough talking. Let's start sorting through the red bricks, see if we can get these parts all sorted, and then we'll turn our attention to the centre. And there we have the front two panels all in place, and just need to do the part that goes through the middle just there. So I'll just probably do a very similar technique to what I did previously. I have actually got two studs exposed, as you can see there, so that might be a good way of attaching it going downwards. Now, I was looking to reattach this part onto the vessel. However, I haven't got the connection points under there just yet, so that is something that I will work on in the coming week or so. But yeah, there it is. It's so nice seeing the cockpit section all back together again following the destruction. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to clear off all of the loose bricks off the table here and set the build up so that all the four sections of the Tantive IV are all in line, and just see how it now looks. And here we have the four sections of the Tantive IV all in line, and I really can't wait to get those last two panels on just there. And also I still need to make the one that goes on the back, this part just here, but it's looking so much better now size wise. With the part of the hole that comes up on the side here, the side panel, it's going to come to the right part, which before it was nowhere near it. So it's definitely the right decision making these amendments to it, even though it did waste 2 weeks of doing work that we could have been doing on other parts of the vessel. This bit here is looking very thin at the moment, but got to bear in mind that there is the body work to go on the bottom of that section, and we just need to start working on here. So the plan is to get the cockpit section all finished. I'm just going to work my way back throughout the vessel. I've now got the parts in to amend the gun at the top here as well, but I also need to see if I can do an improvement on this section. I've got to make another one of these that goes down the bottom here, and the bottom one hangs even further. So there's going to be a lot of hanging weight on there. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to get that all sorted. And I just need to work out how I'm going to finish this section off here. I haven't put the wireless connector back in here yet, or the lights in the corridor section. So again, that's another thing that I will need to do in the coming weeks. But yeah, there we have it. The Tantive IV is almost back to how it was before all of the destruction. Anyway, that's all we have time for. Hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. If you know anybody else you think would be interested in building the Tantive IV in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, till next time, bye for now.